Etsy news. Etsy made some changes that I kind of like, but there's a great big goblin of glitches that's causing people not to be able to make any sales at all. And Etsy customer support, you need a bit of a kick in the bahookie, if I'm honest. So this, buckle up, because this is Etsy news. Let's get into this. So yeah, I mentioned this, a big glitch that's causing Etsy sellers, well, Etsy buyers not to be able to buy. So I've seen a few comments about this. This was in the Etsy forums. Payments methods temporarily disabled at checkout. It's been around 2 weeks. Um, yeah, this person here is basically saying they didn't know there was an issue until a customer messaged them. Customer support is telling them, no, everything's okay. But even I went into their shop. Basically, their proceed to checkout button is missing. When you go into their shop, it says they have no payment methods. Now, a few people were saying in the forums they believe the issue with this is if people were grandfathered in with PayPal, especially if they've moved countries to now a country that has had Etsy payments for a while, there is an issue that Etsy has removed all the options to pay with PayPal, apart from their own, because they make money out of that. So just removing the options for PayPal has left them with no other options, but they've had no warnings, no comments, no nothing to tell them that their shop isn't working. So in my opinion, that this is two ways bad, because what this is, there's a seller who has no idea that effectively their shop's shadow banned. Customers are able to find them, but they're not able to purchase. So the majority of customers will not message the seller. The majority of customers will basically just go, Etsy's broken. I can't shop on Etsy, therefore I'll go somewhere else. So although hopefully it's only a small number of sellers that this impacts, this is a big impact that really needs sorted ASAP. At the very least, and sorry to the sellers, but the buyers have to be a priority. So at the very least, the shops that don't have payment methods, their listing should be disabled so they're not findable in search, and a big warning to tell them, here is a problem, here's what you do about it. And yeah, warn the sellers that they have an issue and help them fix it. Yeah, because that's other sellers are finding this when they go and try and buy. They're looking and going, it happened to me last night. Wanted to purchase something, but I went to pay and got all payment methods for this shop are temporarily unavailable. That's not good. There's no way around it. So let me know if you've had a problem with this. If this is a bigger problem, we might have to go together and shout at Etsy, because I'm really not happy with this. But and a follow on from this, but I've seeing a few messages, seen a lot of people have said this. So this poor person that found this issue, Etsy support said everything was okay, and then has just left them and isn't answering any messages. I'm seeing other things, no response from Etsy support. And what seems to have been happening, what people are saying is happening, is that in Etsy support chat, they're leaving the ticket open but not responding anymore. So that means, say you leave a ticket open and you go on holiday for 2 weeks. Every time this customer's trying to, well, this seller's trying to message and say, I've got a problem, you're not there to pick it up and nobody else sees it. So this does seem to have been a problem. I haven't experienced it, but I've heard a lot of people say that Etsy's just leaving the chat open and not answering, so they're unable to get hold of people. And yeah, escalating things and not hearing back. Although Etsy have said they're getting in a lot more chat workers, a lot more customer support people, the problem, I don't know, I don't work for Etsy, but a problem I see with a lot of things is if you track something, you can improve that metric, but it doesn't mean it's improved things. So I know Etsy have been reporting on, and a lot of companies track response time, how quickly they can respond to a ticket and how quickly they can close a ticket. So, what Etsy seems to be prioritizing doing is getting in and responding to a ticket, usually with their AI chat bot thing, which is rubbish. And then they're closing tickets as fast as possible as well. So it's like, just ignore what you said, send a link to an article and going, is that sorted? Here we go. Is that sorted? So a lot of people will just get fed up. So on paper, things have improved when in reality it's worse. I mentioned a while ago, I was in the middle, Etsy support had not answered my question. They messaged and said, hey, have we answered your question, or how are you doing? So I was in the middle of typing back. Now, we all know, you can see when, Pam is typing. There's a little thing in the chat that shows them that. So I was typing my list of, no, you haven't, here is what I said. I was busy typing that, and she closed the chat on me. So, yeah. A rush to close tickets, and it seems that some of them are just leaving the tickets hanging. But yeah, Etsy support, it was really good years ago. It seems to have got worse with the influx of new customer support agents. It's not their fault. They're probably not being trained well enough, and in the push to move the needle on the metrics that are being tracked, that doesn't prioritize actually giving the best customer support. But it seems to have taken an even worse step from what I'm seeing in the forums. As I say, I've got the closing out a chat on me, and I've got some terrible experiences, but I've not had this issue. And here was a glitch. I've not done Etsy news for a couple of weeks, so this was a couple of weeks ago, but someone else's product video showing up within their listing. I've not seen this. This is a weird one. Let me know if you've seen it, or if this is still a glitch. So here's the changes. Now, I made a video on this a couple of days ago if you want to check it out, but Etsy made two big... Oh no, we're not there yet. I'm not even reading my screens. Yes, in Etsy ads, I spotted this. Now, we have had the ability to turn off keywords that aren't relevant, but Etsy's never actually popped up. They're saying turn off keywords that aren't relevant or that have a low return on ad spend. So this is cool. They are saying, before they were just saying, you're giving us feedback. It wasn't clear 100%. I thought it was the case, but it wasn't clear 100% that they were turning off the keywords. It just felt like feedback. And also it was just, are these relevant? But they're now saying all that have a low return on ad spend. So they are saying, if this keyword isn't good, you can turn it off. So as they're telling us to do this, I would get in, and things like keywords like your shop name. If you search for your shop name and the entire page is already filled with your own listings, turn off the ads for that. That's just going to be a waste of your money, in my opinion, unless it's not. And the same for any keywords that are not working for you. They might be too competitive. So the cost per click is going to be really expensive for them. So this is a cool way to maybe play around with focusing in on the keywords that you want to get seen for. Now, it's not great because the start of every month, Etsy fails to show that your keywords. It says it's the last 30 days, but it doesn't seem to be. So get into your Etsy ads if you're advertising, look at the keywords that are working and switch them off when Etsy are showing you these keywords. It's a glitch that's been going on for ages, and Etsy customer support gaslights me with that one, telling me everything's fine. Like, no, yesterday I saw keywords, today I don't. So here's the changes that Etsy have given us. I made a whole video on it a couple of days ago. So in our earnings, they're now showing in our orders. That's why I got the weird word. Oh, I need more sleep. Sorry. In our orders, we're now able to see the breakdown for that individual order of how much the buyer paid and how much you spent on it, your shipping costs and the Etsy fees. Now, it's not everything. Etsy don't know how much it cost you to make that item and stuff, but it is a start, and it's nice to see it broken down on an order level. So that is there. And the other thing is you can apply processing profiles to variations. As I say, that was in a video I made the other day. I'm reasonably happy with it. Is it perfect? Oh, heck no. A lot of people are unhappy with it, but I think it's a step forward. So I would message Etsy, do the good boy, you did a good thing. However, could you do this good thing? um, so here's, you can create processing profiles with unique readiness. Now, a reason for this can be you might want to have variations that one is a ready-made thing and one is a personalized option, and you want more time. You can't have the same processing time for something that's ready to ship and something that you have to create from scratch. So I think it's a good thing. But that's it for this week, unless you know different. So let me know in the comments if I've missed anything. I'm sure I have. I had a couple of weeks off for enjoying the sunshine. But that's it for this week, and I'll see you next time.